Pardon me? At this time, I now invite everyone to please stand and join the Findlay High School Choir in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Once again, welcome to the 149th commencement of Findlay High School. There are many people that have played an important role in getting these young people to where they are today. Parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, and teachers. Please help these individuals enjoy the ceremony by ensuring that your cell phones are off. And now Findlay City Schools is pleased to recognize our honored guests. As I call your name, would you please stand and be recognized? Please hold your applause until all are standing. Board of Education President, Dr. Kathy Siebenauer Wilson. Board of Education Vice President, Mr. Matt Cooper. Board of Education members, Mr. Chris Aldridge, Miss Laura Iyer, and Mrs. Susan Russell. Superintendent, Mr. Troy Roth. Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Krista Krates Miller. Associate Principal, Mr. David Alvarado. Assistant Principals, Mr. Mike Letty and Mrs. Christine Siebenek. Faculty President, Mr. Jimmy Orr. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Mr. Orr, our Master of Ceremonies, will now present the Findlay High School faculty.
Thank you, Mr. Imke. It is my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies and to represent the faculty of Findlay High School. Many teachers have played an important role in the lives of these graduates. In honor of all our teachers, representatives from the faculty are participating in the ceremony today. As I call your name, would you please stand and be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all are standing. Representing the Science Department is Mr. Mark Laux. Representing Math, Miss Karen Awenga. Representing Special Education is Mrs. Susan Blodgett. Representing World Language, Mr. Sean Hurt. Representing Social Studies is Mr. Jesse Hankins. Representing English is Mrs. Rachel Haas and Mrs. Shannon Wanamaker. Representing Counselors, Miss Laura Dyer, Mr. Ray Elbin, and Miss Ursula Jefferson. Representing the Millstream Career Center as Director is Mrs. Pamela Hamlin, and representing the Music Department is Mr. Kevin Manley and Mrs. Krista Bigger. And now, Findlay City Schools Superintendent, Mr. Troy Roth, will offer a few introductory remarks.
Good morning, and once again, welcome to Donnell Stadium. What an amazing sight this is to see. For many months, we were uncertain if we'd be able to join together, and today I am so proud and thankful to be here celebrating in person with each and every one of you. As I began to prepare my remarks for today's ceremony, I struggled to come up with the words to do the graduating class of 2021 justice. Until I heard a student speaker delivering remarks to my own daughter's graduation class at Miami of Ohio. His speech mentioned several characteristics that students displayed while navigating a successful year despite a global pandemic. The one characteristic that he mentioned that stuck out to me, and I believe best describes the Findlay High School class of 2021, is the word grit. Grit is defined by dictionary.com as fitness of character and an indomitable spirit. How did the seniors sitting here in front of us today succeed during COVID-19? They had grit. How did they deal with canceled events, quarantines, positive COVID cases, ever-changing schedules, hybrid learning, and total remote education? Well, I believe they had grit. How did you not quit or let your grades fall? You had grit. How did you succeed in the classroom, on the stage, or on the athletic field? I believe it's because you each had grit. Without grit, you would not be sitting here today. And how will you continue to have success in the future? It is by having grit. The class of 2021 missed out on so many small things that we take for granted. Learning together, sharing lunch with your friends, meeting your friend at a locker, homecoming, athletic events, performing arts, and so many other things that are associated with your educational experience. Do not take the little things for granted. I spent 28 years in education, and up until last March, I took this commencement day for granted. What you have accomplished this year is nothing to be taken for granted. Through the pandemic, you have all certainly witnessed what it is like to join together in moments of crisis to help others, and you saw a community rise together and help each other. I recall seeing a story this year on Toledo News Channel that featured senior Lillian Meinenberg. Lillian stated, while we're all on this earth, why not do something with your time, something to do better, and to help others? Her quote reminded me of the story of the starfish. Maybe you've heard the story before. An old man was walking on the beach after a big storm, and he noticed the vast beach littered with starfish as far as the eye could see, stretching in both directions. Off in the distance, the man noticed a small boy. As the boy walked, he paused every so often. As he grew closer to the boy, he noticed that he would pick up an object and throw it into the ocean. The man asked the boy what he was doing. The boy replied, throwing starfish into the ocean. The tide has washed them up onto the beach, and they can't return to the sea by themselves. When the sun gets high, they will die unless I throw them back in the water. The old man replied, but there must be thousands of starfish on this beach. I'm afraid you won't make a difference. The boy picked up another starfish and threw it out as far as he could. He smiled and turned to the old man and said, it made a difference to that one. This story illustrates the importance of making a difference, one small act at a time. Seniors, you made a difference. Don't ever forget that you have pushed through it all to be here today, and because of your sacrifices and because of your grit, you will forever be remembered as one of the finest classes to ever graduate from Findlay High School. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Mr. Roth. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first salutatorian of the class of 2021, Nathan Meyer. Nathan is the son of Kathy and Dave Meyer. Next fall, he plans to attend the University of Michigan to major in chemistry. While at Findlay High School, Nate was a 3-year member of the soccer team. He was part of various clubs and activities such as National Honor Society, Key Club, and Badminton Club. The title of his speech is From Dissection to Discovery.
Thank you. It's hard to believe we're all here today after 4 long years, only 2.5 of which being regular high school. I'm honored to speak to you all today, the ever-persevering class of 2021. Ever since middle school, we've had parents, teachers, counselors, everyone expecting us to have it all figured out and to know what we want to do when we grow up. And probably like a lot of you, I thought that to be daunting. Daunting in the sense that I don't want to fit into a mold. Daunting in that I felt we were given 2 options: follow our dreams and not succeed, or choose a safe career and not be happy. Daunting in that, quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure where my path will take me. I do know, however, that I will not be pursuing biology or medicine after nearly throwing up during dissections in Mrs. Hurt's class. I knew the moment I cut open that frog that I needed to explore other options. The very question, so what do you want to be when you grow up, would send me into a cold sweat. Not all of us have our lives planned out before we even enter high school, and I would argue most adults don't have it all together either. But if this pandemic and the hardships that came with it have taught us anything, it's that we shouldn't have it all figured out. We shouldn't feel the pressure to pick a safe career only to end up miserable. If you find something you're passionate about, truly passionate about, a path will open up eventually. It might not be the first one you try. You might find yourself facing several open doors in life ready for you to walk through. And you might pick one thinking, this is what I want to do, only to have that door slam shut in your face as if to say, not going to happen. So does that mean we should just stop trying? Should we just stop looking for open doors to walk through? Say, well, I gave it my best shot? Absolutely not. We need to pick ourselves right back up and walk through the next one. Maybe it'll slam shut again, and we'll be right back to square one. But eventually, one will stay open, the one you were meant to go through. So chase your dreams, because no matter how small you may think they are, somewhere, somehow, they will become your reality. I'm excited to see the future of the class of 2021, because everything you can imagine is real. Thank you.
And now, please enjoy the Findlay High School Choir as they sing Omnia Sol.
Somewhere far from nowhere, I grew both strong and tall, longing to become, but knowing
It is now my pleasure to introduce our second salutatorian of the class of 2021, Ryan Yarkusko. Ryan is the son of Kevin and Sarah Yarkusko. Next fall, he plans on attending Kenyon College to major in microbiology. While at Findlay High School, Ryan was a 2-year captain of the boys' soccer team, leading them to the regional finals in the most recent season. Ryan also participated in a variety of clubs and activities, including National Honor Society and Key Club. The title of his speech is Aspirations from 8th Grade.
I'm moving this summer. As I prepare to depart from my childhood home, I've been packing. Old trinkets, old clothes, and old papers that have gone untouched for years pass from their places into my hands and into their respective cardboard boxes. This has been a time of reflection for me. Each belonging presents a set of memories trapped in time, patiently waiting to be recalled. One night, as I sifted through the mountain of memories, one thing in particular caught my eye. An 8th grade journal written in anticipation of high school. The assignment for the journal was to write out my goals and expectations for the next 4 years of my life. At that age, I was ambitious. I wanted to make varsity soccer as a freshman. I wanted to be valedictorian. And I wanted to ace my ACT. Well, I stand before you today to say that none of that happened. I didn't make varsity soccer as a freshman. I'm not the valedictorian, and after 3 tries, I couldn't ace my ACT. I set astronomically high goals for myself, and I failed. So what's the point? The point is that failing to achieve my goals has given me a completely different outlook on life. In fact, I realized I never really failed at all. The point is, it's okay to fall short of goals, as things always work out with the right mindset. The point is that rather than get caught up on missed opportunities, I consider all of the opportunities gained and new possibilities in the future. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. However, it is our perception of what happens that makes all the difference. Reality is merely our own individual impressions of day-to-day events. I did not make varsity freshman year, but I worked twice as hard and was able to get some playing time as a sophomore. I'm clearly not the valedictorian, and I was always 1 point off of a perfect ACT, but I'm still going to a college I love with bountiful opportunities for the future. As I plan for the next 4 years of my life, I'm setting an ambitious list of goals all over again. Whether I achieve them or not, we'll have to see. But truly, it doesn't matter. No matter what happens, I will make the most out of the outcome. To my classmates and everyone in attendance, I encourage all of you to do the same. Don't allow your circumstances to define how you feel or who you are. Take reality and make it your own. Thank you.
And now, I invite everyone to stand. And all to join in singing the alma mater of Findlay High School. You can find the words to this song on the back of your program.
Come one and all from Findlay High School to us most dear. Let us sing her praises for guidance through the years. Give thanks for opportunity
Senior choir members, please return to your seats and join the rest of your graduating class. It is now my pleasure to introduce our third salutatorian of the class of 2021, Sophia Yu. Please be seated. Sophia is the daughter of Ming and Stephanie Yu. Next fall, she plans on attending the University of Notre Dame to major in aerospace engineering. While at Findlay High School, Sophia was a 4-year member of the soccer team where she lettered twice and was named to the Northwest Ohio All-District First Team. She was involved in symphony, chamber orchestra, and Hancock Youth Leadership. The title of her speech is Living in the Moment.
I will never forget the day I received my first college rejection letter. I was in the car on my way home from a soccer game. My family was anxiously sitting around me, getting ready to capture what could have been one of the best moments of my life. When the time came to check the decision, I opened my letter and was struck with immense disappointment. We are unable to offer you a spot in the class of 2025. This was the first, but definitely not the last time I would read these words. I received rejection after rejection, and for a long time, I truly felt like a failure. Everything I had worked for in my life had led to these moments. Even as a little girl who had just learned how to read and write, I was fantasizing about college. I had this idea instilled into my head that college was going to be the most important time of our lives, that where we got into college would define us and how hard we have worked. Instead of hanging out with my friends, I studied. Instead of enjoying my downtime, I worried about my next test. And it turns out, my best was still not enough. Well, here I am today, standing at my graduation, after receiving a plethora of rejection letters, and I'm here to tell you that my way of thinking was completely skewed. Your life does not depend on what college you get into, and what college you get into does not define who you are as a person and how hard you have worked. Life is all about living in the moment. As I look back upon my life thus far, the rejections, the worrying, and the studying are not the first things that come to mind. What comes to mind are all of the memories I have made, the countless hours of laughter, and the fun times I have had with the people that I love and cherish the most. When I received my first rejection letter, I was not receiving just a rejection, but rather insight as to what has truly mattered in my life. Sometimes we all get caught up in our goals and fantasies that we forget to live in the moment. Life is short. Moments you spend worrying are moments that you will never get back. In the end, we are not going to remember where we end up. We are going to remember the journey we took to get there. Thank you.
Mr. Imke will now present the class of 2021 for graduation.
It is now my pleasure to present for graduation the 149th Findlay High School senior class. These students have excelled in many areas, including music, drama, career technical education, athletics, community service, and many, many more activities. We are particularly proud of the academic success of the class of 2021. Mr. Roth, members of the Board of Education, these young men and women have completed the graduation requirements established by the Findlay City Schools Board of Education in the state of Ohio and are ready to receive their diplomas. Dr. Siebenaller Wilson, it is an honor to present for graduation the class of 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Imke. And good morning. On behalf of the Findlay City Schools Board of Education, we proudly congratulate and honor you, the Findlay High School class of 2021. It is time for you to claim your rite of passage into the next chapter of your life. When I thought about the right words to say to you today, I was struck with your class motto, "Everything that you can imagine is real," a quote by Pablo Picasso. As I thought about the quote, my imagination went back to last year at this time when I entered the stage at Heminger Auditorium and found myself looking into total darkness. There was a bright spotlight that made it impossible for me to see my notes. I wasn't even sure if I was facing the front of the crowd. As I looked in the darkness, I wasn't quite sure where to focus, as I knew that the class of 2020 really wasn't out there. I finally said, "I don't know where I'm looking." I then knew I would have to imagine that the hopeful graduates were there for it to become real. I will be eternally grateful to your teacher, Mr. Jimmy Orr. As a caring teacher, he must have sensed I was struggling. I couldn't see, but he softly spoke and held up his cell phone so I could see a small light blue light, and he calmly said, "Look here, Kathy." At that point, I focused on the blue light, and I was able to imagine the auditorium was full of graduates and friends, and that it was real. The guidance of a teacher helped me focus and to seek out what I wanted most to do. As Picasso said, everything you can imagine is real. The class of 2021 will long be remembered as a class that did their entire senior year during the pandemic. As you, your teachers, families, and younger classmates navigated through uncertain waters, waiting for the weekly report of whether we were yellow, orange, red, or purple. As seniors, you had to exhibit leadership, perseverance, and determination while waiting to find out if the next day would be remote, live, or hybrid. Pablo Picasso was a renowned artist who had the ability to use his imagination to create works of art that became masterpieces, which were real. Some of those canvases may not have turned out the way he imagined. Maybe they went in the trash. But he would refocus his imagination until his reality became true. There have been days that started out dark, and we needed the blue light of a teacher or a friend on the other side of the screen to tell us to forge on and to make reality one of joy and hope for the future. The class of 2021 has met every obstacle with imagination, creating ways to make things work, develop new plans, and most importantly, to meet change head on and to determine the new reality. Your class can be proud of your perseverance for academic achievement. You saw many of your athletic teams and individuals accumulate winning records and goals of reality. You saw groups such as We the People and the Millstream student organizations compete and win top honors. And you saw the Findlay First Edition learn to perform with masks. And you were able to watch a joyful Mr. Manley do the moonwalk on the stage again. Thank you to your parents and families for their love and support. And thank you to your teachers and administration for guiding you to use your imagination to create the very best reality for each and every one of you. The class of 2021 has created a legacy, and you will tell your children and grandchildren about how you finished your high school journey by building the plane while you were flying it. In closing, we salute you, our mighty Trojans, the Findlay High School class of 2021. We will treasure your memory. Thank you for your pride, your spirit, your imagination, and the reality you were able to create. May you always remain Trojan true. Mr. Imke, on behalf of the Findlay City Boards of Education, it is our honor and privilege to accept the Findlay High School class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Siebenaler-Wilson. Before we begin, audience members, we ask that you help us keep the ceremony dignified by staying in your seats, remaining for the entire program, and holding your applause until all diplomas have been presented. No matter how proud, no matter how amazed, and no matter how grateful you are. Mr. Imke, Mr. Imke will now honor our 4.0 students by calling their names first.
Graduates, it's finally time. Please stand one row at a time and come forward to receive your diploma. It is my pleasure to recognize the valedictorian, the salutatorians, and our 4.0 students. Trinity Sola Lee. Nathan David Meyer. Ryan Scott Yarkusko. Sophia Noel Yu. Jada Lene Brandt. Carolyn Brenna Gordon. Catherine Michelle Short. Leslie Walker Silvius. Lydia Ann Spaeth. Tara Elise Spar.
Anthony Jaden Adams. Declan Allen Atkins. Riley Ella Adkins. Brianna Lynn Albert. Madison Reese Altenberg. Ethan Clark Altman. Mariah Virginia Marie Amatrano. Addison Gabriel Anderson. Agape Gloria Imani Anderson. Dylan Thomas Ankney. Erica Nicole Arnett. Sabrina Catherine Nicole Atkins. Emily Rebecca Barbary. Caleb Xavier Barnes. Logan M. Berenger. Grace Jaru Barto. Shauna Marie Bartson. Asil Hafid Baskel. Elijah Emmanuel Baxter. Alex Ryan Beasley. Jonathan David Beck. Zachary Joseph Byer. Reese Myers Bello. Gabriel Allen Bennett. Jessica Renee Betts. Saki Alpesh Balsar. Tyler Joseph Bin. Paige Michelle Black. Kiwi Marie Bowers. Larkin Ray Bowers. Haley Marie Bowen. Kayla Decleton Bressler. Alexa Rose Brickner. Kiara Joylyn Brickner. Kylie Grace Britton. Kaylee Renee Brodeen. Hannah Jade Brown. McKenna Eileen Bruni. Jordan Elizabeth Bryant. Emily Rose Buteau. Oliver Richard Bundy. Desan Wendell Bird. Brianna Marie Kane. Joel Michael Calvin. Seth David Commissioni. Julian Joseph J. Carlin.
Savannah Elizabeth Carnahan. Eric Allen Carpenter. Mackenzie Ray Carpenter. Sophia Catherine Caton. Neil Edward Chamberlain. Ashley Ellen Claflin. Grace Ann Cobb. Jacob Carlton Collins. Caden Charles Cooper. Sierra Marie Cosart. Haley Paige Couch. Alexis Elizabeth Coward. Braden Cole Crawford. Samuel Robert Crawford. Mackenzie Mamie Cripple. Andres Manuel Cruz. Carson Charles Dale. Brianna Lee Davis. Victor De Sousa Rosa. Christine Melissa Deersman. Maria Leora DeBoard. Lincoln Philip Deeringer. Zachary Allen Dillon. Kyle Stephen Dittman. Cheyenne Louise Dooley. Gage Bradford Downing. Zane David Delaney. Jensen Bradley Dyer. Levi Thomas Edwards. Grant Michael Ekstrom. Damian Allen Elliott. Caitlin Lee Engard. Caden Jacob Irving. Jackson Lee Farmer. Keegan Troy Faulkner. Madeline Marie Feitner. Dylan Gabriel Ferris. Elise Kaylee Fisher. Jayleese Paige Fisher. Jack Lamar Flogger. Carter Allen Folk. Morgan Rose Foos. Addison Elizabeth Fox. Marshall Toby Frankfurther. Ethan Samuel Franks. Damani Frazier. Malia Lynn Marie Garcia. Jasira Jane Gardner. Olivia Ann Gargak. Christopher Michael Galt. Taylor Alexandra Gayhart. Lauren Elizabeth Gehrig. Zachary James Geyser. Amber Claire Gershutz. Lucas William Gilbert. Nicholas Salinas Gonzalez.
Micah Thomas Gremling. Tyler Daniel Gurney. Nicole Elizabeth Hadley. Melina Noel Hammond. Kennedy Faith Handley. Shiloh Elijah Hanners. Andrew David Hannigan. Aiden Thomas Hanson. Owen Michael David Harshbarger. Justin Robert Hartman. Anthony Michael Hazelton. Jack Michael Heater. Cameron Renee Heiserman. Adam Joseph Hellman. Abigail Lynn Henthorn. Tanner James Hers. Leah Colette Heimball. Salvatore Scott Hoekstra. Sajan Nicholas Hoffman. Elaine Marie Homan. Ashton Nicholas Hosey. Seth Allen Hovis. Isaac Thomas Hoy. Chase Christopher Huff. Ashley Kihara Hughes. Samantha Rose Hunt. Barbarito Nicholas Ibera IV. Josiah Palamo Ibera. Leah Ibera. Deshaun L. Jackson. Cantrell Reese Jackson Gillespie. Josiah Alexander Cade Jeffers. Caitlin Nicole Johnson. Logan Shane Johnson. Serenity Ashante Alize Johnson. Grant Marion Jolliffe. Andrew Michael Jones. Maureen Ellen Jones. Ashton Michael Jordan. Anne-Marie Grace Judy. Caleb David Kameyer. Hunter John Kaiser. Jack Andrew Kenny. Gage Adam King. Dalton Lee Kingery. Chloe May Kirby. Olivia Marie Kistler. Mary Rose Klein. Shannon Marie Klotz. Anthony David Kuhn. Cameron Rose Kush. Andrew Leonard Constead. Garrett Allen Croup.
Gianna Lauren Cruz. Isabella Rachel Cruz. Kush M. Lalji. Riley Jamison Lanigan. Grant Brenneman Lane. Nicholas Aloysius Lavelle. Zane Newman Laws. Caitlin Nicole Lentz. Valentina Jeanette Livinali Nino. Aliana Jamise Lopez. Victoria Elena Lopez Leal. Jaden Michelle Lowry. Emma Marie Lutz. Alexander Duncan Manley. Zachary Ryan Martin. Zoe Riley Mason. Alicia Isabel Maddox. Kylie Francis Mauger. Austin J. May. Sarah K. May. Emily Marie McDonald. Ross Christopher McGurr. Olivia Ani Meeks. Samantha J.O. Meeks. Lillian Shay Meinberg. Grace Elizabeth H. Miller. C.J. Miller. Sydney Claire Miller. Jasmine Nicole Maloney. Daniel Andrew Moninger. Ethan Gerard Morsefield. Hannah Elizabeth Mueller. Luke Robert Murdoch. Evelyn Ray Napier. Tyene Jose Navarro. Austin Michael Nylub. Tyler Matthew Noon. Shelby Kate Norton. Ian Elliott Ayler. Bailey Elizabeth Oldacre. Kaya Marie Lennon Ortiz. Cameron Charles Osborne.
Alicia Isabel Palacios. Trinity Ray Pelton. Alyssa Jane Perkins. Alan Gregory Peters. Andrew Dakota Patinio. Jimmy Joom Fadfum. Hallie Catherine Phillips. Brian Yi Fung. Kaylin Michelle Price. Blaine Allen Rader. Lilith Madison Rafa. Mark Wayne Rash. Hunter David Rail. Noah Scott Recker. Alexandria Rendon Cornell. Luke Joseph Ruel. Haley Bren Rhodes. Samuel Azriel Abigail Marie Robowski. Allison Renee Robowski. Anna Mae Trudell Rodaball. Shayla Nicole Ross. Paige Nicole Rosselette. Jonathan Riley Rousey. Allison Elizabeth Royden. Nicole Marie Saxtetter. Salama. Raymond Jackson Saldana. Libby Evelyn Sapp. Shane Allen Scalfaro. Declan Michael Scherf. Kristen Louise Sugar. David Scott Schlochter. Ainsley Rose Schroeder. Winter Noel Schroeder. Cameron Jaden Scott. Taylor Nicole Seaholm. Catherine Grace Seam. Kirsten Danielle Selhorse. Gabrielle Orion Shaver. Kaylee Nicole Shaw. Lainey Star Shanice. Eli Michael Shepard. Yuma Shibamoto. Zoe Renee Shiley. McKenna Lee Schuff. Jada Emily Siebenek. Haley Ellen Slough. Ariana Louise Snare. Justin Michael Snyder. Josiah David Spiceland. Edward James Springer. Morgan K. Stacy. Shayla Elaine Stacy. Darius Jamal Stallings. Jacob Dean Stansberry. Melody Ann Stearns. Andrew William Steckschulte.
Brandon Allen Steffen. Paige Marie Steinke. Isabella Kaylin Sterling. James Ryan Stillings. Nathan Lee Sterling. Melia Rose Stone. Kevin Allen Strawbridge III. Christopher George Stremka. Alana Jean Stoltz. Tiffany Ann Stoltz. Brianna May Stutzman. Catherine Marie Sewerman. Caitlin Amanda Tabor. Haruka Takizawa. Ty James Tate. Jenna Reese Taylor. Jeremy Lee Tharp. Caitlin Ashley Thatcher. DeAndre Romulo Tice. William Andrew Thomas. Dylan Anthony Timbrook. Jesus Javier Torres Cardona. Alyssa Ann Tuholsky. Mireya Esperanza Trevino Hernandez. Carolyn Joyce Turner. Jordan May Ulrich. Kylie Michelle Uther. Samantha Lee Vance. Lexus Marie Vela. Hunter Michael Van Harrington. Michael Brandon Vieira. Nathaniel Joseph Wallen. Larkin May Warner. Reed Joseph Warner. Zaria Monet Watts. Ethan James Weaver. Griffin Ryder Weinstein. Ella Grace Welch. Aaron Joseph White. Cami Madeline Wetz. Savannah Leanne Wilcox. Titus Lee Wilkinson. Evan Thomas Winans. Bethany Marie Wise. William Owen Yates. Catherine Elizabeth Young. And Shaylin Nicole Zender.
On behalf of the Findlay High School faculty, the administration, and the Board of Education, congratulations to the class of 2021. And now, Mrs. Krista Kreitz Miller will recognize the valedictorian of the class of 2021.
The 2021 Findlay High School valedictorian is Trinity Lee. Trinity is the daughter of Christine Park and Son John Lee. Next fall, Trinity plans on attending Brown University and majoring in political science. While at Findlay High School, she was four-year member of Findlay Trojan Marching Band, where she served as president, woodwind field captain, and section leader. Additionally, Trinity was in High School Ethics Bowl and National Honor Society. The title of Trinity's speech is The Importance of the Mind.
Good morning, families, teachers, administrators, and of course, the class of 2021. Before I begin, I would first like to thank our families and the staff at Findlay High School on behalf of the senior class. During our 4 years here, we all received moral support from different sources, but our level of gratitude is the same. We could not be here without the love and encouragement of those in our lives. I'd like to thank my parents for raising me without the burden of pressure and teaching me the importance of ethics and integrity. I would also like to thank my brother for always inspiring and supporting me so that I could stand up here today. Now, as our final year of high school came to an end, I started reflecting on the past 4 years, thinking about all of the things that I've learned as a student here. I wanted so desperately to be able to leave you with something impactful and uplifting to close our high school careers, especially considering the circumstances surrounding our senior year. I realized, however, that today we are graduating from not only high school, but also from childhood. This in itself is crazy to even think about. Absolutely bonkers, I know. And each and every one of you deserve to be applauded for this accomplishment. But it's important to realize that during our time as students, all of us have had our fair share of struggles, whether they have been academic, physical, or emotional. And although our struggles are unique, one thing I want all of us to remember moving forward is that our minds are the most important piece of our success. Even in the hardest of times, the tiniest trace of a thought, an idea, a dream is enough. The existence of such a thing in our minds can keep us going. Yes, we do have to work hard to make these dreams become a reality in which we can all share. But in your mind, these ideas can be your reality even before you begin to work for them. You can envision everything you want, and having that hope is the most important step you can take towards having a bright future. Prioritize your mind. Take care of your mental health first, and whatever you choose to pursue in the future will become 10 times easier. Even if you're unsure about what you want to do after high school, learning to cherish yourself and your thoughts first will make things so much clearer. So allow yourself to dream like this and have hope. This past year has been difficult for a multitude of reasons. The effect that this tragic pandemic has had on our education, on our final year of high school, and most importantly, on the lives of those around us has been immense. But I think we as a class have shown incredible strength in continuing to move forward and being able to sit in these seats today. Thus, I want to congratulate all of you, and I'm so proud to be part of the class of 2021 with you guys. Thank you.
Congratulations. Beautiful job.
Now, members of the class of 2021, please stand. Join me in moving our tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations.
Students, you may be seated. Audience, I think this class of 2021 needs one more big round of applause. Thank you. Before I give my closing remarks, there are a few requests that we have of the audience. We ask that all members of the audience please stay in your seats until all students have recessed. You can meet your loved ones after the ceremony. Our students will be recessing down the sidelines to be able to greet their families. As an educator, the greatest joy of coming to school every day is seeing our students grow, develop, and move on to be successful adults. Findlay City Schools' mission statement is to unlock the dreams of all students through academic excellence, diverse opportunities, and true belonging. Now that you have received this diploma, you have completed one phase of this important journey. Congratulations to the class of 2021 on this tremendous accomplishment. The learning and experiences that you have gained from being at FHS will positively impact you for the rest of your life. You will truly forever be a Trojan. Thank you, stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay Trojan true. Go ahead. Go ahead, Erica.
Made it.